Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great and Ramadan Mubarak. A happy Ramadan to all of you guys 2024, and I hope that this Ramadan it brings you lots of joy, prosperity and spiritual growth and a more deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And without any further ado, we are just going to dive right into the video, and in today's video we are going to talk about some main things that you need to focus on, and you need to incorporate that into your schedule in Ramadan during the 30 days so you guys can grow and become a more better Muslim, right? No one, first of all, no one is a better Muslim, right? No one is the perfect example of a Muslim, right? We all are growing, we all are, we all make mistakes, right? But the best person is someone who learns from their mistake, right? And they don't make that mistake again, right? So Ramadan, it's not like a month in which we are not just eating and drinking, but it's a month where we are connecting with our Islamic values. It's a month where we are crafting a more deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a month full of prosperity, energy, right? Even though we are not eating and drinking anything, right? Allah Ta'ala gives us so much energy, right? We are going to school, right, for students, and parents, they are going to their jobs. Mothers, they are in their houses doing every single thing like normal, like a normal day. So have this belief, right? Those who are having the fast for the first time this year, right? I hope you guys, this turns out to be the best experience of your life, and Allah Ta'ala give you energy, right? So now without any further ado, let's just hop back into the video. So I'm going to share a couple of things with you need to incorporate into your schedule for Ramadan for this 1 month so we can grow as a Muslim, right? Also, I have my notes here, so if I forget anything I'll be looking down, so don't get worried about that, right? So first let's talk about the schedule, right? So we have Sehri, Suhoor, right? We wake up before Fajr, right? And then 1 hour, 1.5 hour before we wake up from Fajr and do Sehri, right? So on Sehri, I want you to, after doing after eating everything, after doing wudu, when you're waiting for azan, I don't want you to be on your phone, right? I have seen so many people during Sehri, they're on their phones. I don't want you to do that, right? Because then there is no reason for you to keep a fast if you're on your phone, right? So this is one thing, right? I need you to just think about this, like you have a month for growth, for connection with Allah, right? And you are spending that with your phone, with on social media, right? And on social media we sometimes see the things which you don't want to see, right? We see some bad things which can have a bad influence on our mind unintentionally. So it's better to keep ourselves away from all of the negative things, negative energies from social media. So the first thing is going to be using less social media, right? If you don't have any work, important work on social media or on your phones, I would suggest you to be only use them for 1.5 hours per day after Maghrib, maybe, right after we are done with the iftar. We have done all of the important things, right? Or as I'm a coach, right? I need to be online. So what I'm personally going to do is that I'm going to be only on the platforms which I really need to use, and try to avoid myself from as much negativity as I can through social media, right? So this is one thing, right? This is like a challenge, all right? The second thing is that I want you to stop gossiping, right? It can sound sometimes fun, sometimes I do it like unintentionally, right? But I need you to really just reflect back on where are you gossiping, maybe with your friends, maybe with your family members, maybe with your siblings, maybe with your relatives, right? I need you to really reflect back on the people you are gossiping with and stop gossiping, right? Because gossiping is, it's not as such a thing that we should only stop doing gossiping in Ramadan, but it's a thing which should be in our values, which should be in our beliefs, which should be in our moral values, right? Gossiping is something we should never do, even 12 months a year. But again, Ramadan, this is a month where we are going to reflect back on our actions, and this is a month where we just start walking on the righteous path, right? I need you to really reflect back on that. And whenever you think that someone is starting a gossip chat with you, maybe just give them a stop sign. Maybe just ask them that we shouldn't do this, right? Tell them that we shouldn't do this during Ramadan, and during during any time 12 months a year. It's not a good thing, right? And if they are not understanding your boundaries, if they are not understanding your values, maybe take a side from them. So really set clear boundaries with the people around you, right? So this was the second thing. The third thing is setting a realistic plan, right? If you're a student, right, you cannot set a plan out of motivation, out of inspiration to read Quran 5 hours a day. Of course, there are students who are doing this, but again, we are talking about the majority, right? I need you to focus on, I need you to be focused on creating a realistic plan. Maybe read Quran 1 hour a day. That is a much realistic goal than reading Quran 5 or 6 hours a day, because you are a student, right? I'm talking, it's like a student to student connection. I can never manage that personally, right? I'm talking about the majority. Going to school for 7 hours, all the homework, all of the projects, 3-4 hours from day. Then I also have a business, right? So 3 hours, 2.5 hours, that, right? Then I need to sleep as well, right? It's 7-8 hours I need to sleep, right? I need to eat food. So I set aside time for Allah, right? But very clear, right? I have my time clear. Like, I don't work on my business more than 3 hours, right? I don't study 12 hours a day as well, right? And I have very clear time blocks, right? So read Quran for 1 hour a day, right? Or you can set it in a, this expectation in a much better way. Maybe read one surah every day. Maybe read Surah Baqarah every day. Maybe read Surah Yasin every day. Or maybe read one para every day, right? So you complete all of the 30 paras. You complete the Quran in like a month. So set clear expectations, right? Set really realistic goals for yourself, so you don't get overwhelmed, and when you achieve a milestone, you're happy, right? All right, moving on to the fourth step. This is very important, right? And this is other than religious things. Decluttering your space, right? Because it's a month, it's a joyful month where all of the angels, they are visiting your house, right? During Sahri, during Sahur, during Iftar, when you are praying, right? Angels, they are on round, right? They are visiting your house constantly. So if they come and they are like, oh my god, a spider there, right? We have dust here, dust there, messy, right? It's not going to land, right? Because this is not, you are welcoming the angels in your house. And are you welcoming them like this, with a messy house, right? They are angels, they are sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And imagine when some relative, when some long distance relative, they are visiting our house after so many years. How much do we plan and prepare for them? Like the best food, we need to change the bed sheets, we need to even change the curtains, we need to wash this, we need to clean up this, right? How much we prepare for our relative, and we are not preparing as much for an angel sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? I need you to really focus on this, right? What I did personally, right? I'm going to share my personal things as well, so I'm not just throwing words in the air. I personally did like a small thing. I decluttered my study table, right? And the pencil holder, it had caught so much dust, so I washed that. I took out each individual pencil, and I just wiped the dust off with like a cloth. I need you to do, as a student, what can you do, right? Maybe clean up and declutter your almirah, right? And if you have like a bookshelf, maybe clean up that as well, right? I need you to focus on this. Make the welcome the angels in your house with so much preparation, that they're happy to be in your house, that they don't want to leave your house. They're like, this is the best house on earth, right? I need you to think of this, like and after having this mindset, you are going to yourself, you are going to want let me clean up my whole room, right? I need you to focus on this. All right, Then now let's talk a bit about surahs, right? So there are some specific surahs which which are very very beneficial for us, right? Each surah by Allah Ta'ala, it has its own benefit, right? But there are some specific surah which we need to focus very much more on, right? So I need you to read, first of all, Surah Mulk every night for Ramadan, right? And in 30 days, have this mindset. In 30 days, if you read Surah Mulk every, for every 30 days, you'll have a habit of reading this, right? And when Ramadan ends, you'll have a habit of reading, Surah Mulk every night. So you are you are developing all of the good habits. In Ramadan you have a month, right? And if I share something exciting, something shocking with you, right? So Ramadan is for 30 days, right? And according to our research, if we need to develop a new habit and break our old habits, it takes us 30 to 60 days, right? So we have 30 days to develop a new habit and break our old one, right? What about developing reading Surah Mulk every night before sleeping, right? And what about the bad one? We are, we need to stop gossiping, right? I need you to focus on this, and I need you to read Surah Mulk. Of course, it's not like that we are going to be perfect. I can miss a day myself, right? You can miss a day, but I need you to, not be like, let me play some games first on mobile phone and then let me, read Surah Mulk. Let me, scroll some reels and then let me read, right? It's all about your priority, right? Let me read Surah Mulk first and then maybe I can watch Instagram. Let me read Surah Mulk first and then I can play as many games I want. It's all about priority. Allah Ta'ala and Islam should be your first priority, right? This is the mindset we need to enter Ramadan with, right? Then last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, they are very important as well, right? So it's really easy, just open Surah Al-Baqarah in in the Quran, and the last two verses you need to memorize. This two 5 minutes it will take you to memorize those, and only the last two verses, they are so powerful of Surah Al-Baqarah. It has so many benefits that you're going to be truly blown up by that, right? So I need you, mashallah, you all are young, right? We have energy, we have the mind to memorize things fast, right? I need you to open the Quran, open Surah Al-Baqarah, memorize the last two verses, and just read that whenever you are not doing anything, right? Maybe when you are in the elevator going to the school van, right? Because you don't have anything to do that at that time, maybe read that, recite those two verses, right? I need you to find time for Quran, for Islam, for our religion, between things, right? I need you to do that. Maybe sometimes when we are bored or when we don't have anything, we start singing songs, and we are human beings. I sing songs sometimes, myself, and I'm not trying to be the perfect Muslim from today, right? I'm not asking you to do this, right? But try and try to thrive, to become a better Muslim. Try to become a better human being, right? This 30-day, these 30 days we have, it's all about self-development and self-growth. All right, so Ramadan, it has lots of morals for it. It has lots of lessons for it, and if we utilize this 1 month perfectly, then our whole life can change in this 1 month, right? Then moving on to the last thing, which is reciting Surah Al-Kahf every Friday, right? So this is not specifically for Ramadan, right? We need to recite Surah Al-Kahf every Friday, besides Ramadan, right? Let's say a random month, right? Ramadan right now is coming in March, June, July, whenever it's Friday, you need to recite Surah Al-Kahf, right? But again, in Ramadan, you need to make practice of it, make a habit of reciting Surah Al-Kahf every single Friday. So after Ramadan ends, you have this new habit developed, right? So this was all for the day. If you guys are sticking to the end, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a blessed Ramadan, and inshallah I'll be making more videos for Ramadan as well in a couple of weeks. And have a great Ramadan. Allah Hafiz.